learning!
Inquiry-based learning is a type of education that seeks to place the student at the centre of their own learning.
Inquiry is defined as seeking information through questioning.
This style of learning takes advantage of inquiry as a method through which students can gain new knowledge and practice investigation skills.
Inquiry-based learning is great because it puts Vygotsky's sociocultural learning theory into practice. It uses questioning, group work and language to foster students' learning. This is a great resource which models the inquiry-based learning process. The 4 simple stages are posing real questions, finding resources, interpreting information and reporting on findings. It is important to remember the inquiry-based learning process is a continuous cycle, as illustrated by the arrows in this diagram. This resource can be used in the classroom to teach students which questions to ask and when.
Here are some top tips from teachers who use the inquiry-based learning practice in their everyday teaching.
When incorporating inquiry-based learning into your classroom, give yourself plenty of time to prepare. You want to make sure you can guide your students through the inquiry-based learning process and maximise their understanding. Another good tip is use of strong questions. Students will come up with their own questions, but you want to come up with some more to facilitate their learning and get them thinking outside the box.
Here are my top tips for implementing inquiry-based learning into your classroom. Group work. Inquiry-based learning works best in a group setting, so try splitting your class up into small groups. This setting allows them to work with each other and share their ideas. My other top tip would be observation. You know what they say, seeing is believing. Lots of students gain information through observation, so make sure you give them the opportunity to do so.
My first tip would be to make sure your lesson is age appropriate and suitable for your students' abilities. Another tip is to give students many opportunities to work with their hands, which allows the students to be fully engaged.
This resource is fantastic because it assists teachers with planning an inquiry-based learning lesson. The article also gives advice on how to guide students using the process of inquiry-based learning and supplies activities that can be used with inquiry-based learning. It also provides teachers with ideas for assessing students' skills in inquiry-based learning.
Tonight on Teacher TV, we have 2 experts joining us for a discussion on inquiry-based learning. First of all, we have Jessica Braybrook, an educator for over 30 years. Secondly, we have Stevie Ann. Jessica, could you tell us some of the benefits of inquiry-based learning?
Sure, Susie. Well, one of the first really key benefits of inquiry-based learning is it builds on children's natural curiosity. We all know that children are so quizzical and they're constantly asking us questions.
That's true.
Very true. So what better way to build upon that than through the use of this model? And this model really encourages students to form those questions themselves. So we're not giving them the questions, they're coming up with it. And they feel like they're really directing their own learning.
I bet they love that.
They absolutely love it.
Stevie, what have you got to say on inquiry-based learning?
I just got to say that it's a great way to provide engagement in the classroom.
Yes, of course. We want to engage our students.
Yeah, and it also incorporates Piaget's learning theory into practice.
Piaget.
Piaget, look at Piaget, yeah. Because students are generating knowledge and meaning from an interaction between their experiences and their ideas.
So inquiry-based learning is very interactive?
Very interactive. And I would say, particularly building upon their experiences, ideas, like you've said, and what you've gained from Piaget, I think that's a really important thing to look at. And I suppose you can also look at that in the sense of schemas, because schemas are children's
experiences, yeah.
And ideas. And this process really lets them build upon that. They can construct new ones, but they're also using that prior knowledge to shape the questions that they might have and what they might want to answer.
Great.
You have no problem engaging with students.
That's exactly what we want in our classrooms.
It's so true, because they're the ones that are asking the questions. It's not us sitting at the front of the class saying, why is the sky blue? It's the kids that are coming up with these questions, and they're the ones that want to find the answers.
Much more interesting for them, I'm sure.
Much more interesting.
So what else can you add, Stevie?
It's just a great style of learning because it's also applicable across all key learning areas. You can use it in maths, you can use it in English, you can use it in pretty much anything.
That's great. It's really transformable.
Which is really important too, because facts are constantly changing. We live in a world that's
forever changing technology, so we don't have any concrete information anymore. And
Yeah,
this
you're
means
right.
that kids are building upon the skills rather than concrete information.
Well, our millennial students really need the skills to able to determine what is fact in this day and age, really.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Okay, so what about teachers? You obviously are experts in your field. What can teachers do if they want a bit more information on this, want to know more benefits? Because we're just running out of time.
Well, there's plenty of resources out there. A really good one is 13.org at Education Online.
Yeah.
Yeah, it pretty much gives you all the tips, all the
Benefits.
Yeah, just
Really
like to
recommend that
implement
one?
it and incorporate it into your classroom.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We've really learned a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us.
Inquiry-based learning!